Hello everyone, and welcome to the famous Napa Valley of Northern California. One of two road courses on the Goodyear Cup Series Season 2 schedule, Sonoma Raceway is a beautiful 2-mile track with multiple turns, putting a driver's skill and patience to the ultimate test. Whether you call it Sears Point, Infineon, or Sonoma Raceway, we're glad you've joined us for coverage of the Save Mart 350. Kurt Busch is on pole, beating out Jimmie Johnson and 5-time Sonoma winner Jeff Gordon. Busch won here in 2011 and hopes he can use this pole to close in on the points lead of Dale Earnhardt Jr., only 7 points ahead of Kurt Busch. Earnhardt Jr. starts today's race mid-pack in 19th. And there have been some big surprises during qualifying. Guys you would normally expect to do very well on the road courses are starting near the back of today's race. Chase Elliott starting 23rd, Sean Gossett with his new team Sport Motorsports starting in 27th, and A.J. Allmendinger starting dead last on the field, 35th. He suffered a broken axle during qualifying. Well, it looks like pre-race ceremonies are wrapping up now, so we're going to send it trackside for the command to fire engines.
Fans, it is time for the most famous words in motorsports. To give that command, the great Gonzo.
Before we start, I would like to remind the drivers to follow all traffic and safety laws. And remember, the California speed limit is 70 miles per hour. Drivers, start your engines!
Start up when you're ready, man. Crank when you're ready.
And as they roll off the grid, we'll take a look at how they'll line up for today's race. Kurt Busch, quickest in qualifying. Outside of him is Jimmie Johnson, the 7-time champion. In row 2, it's Jeff Gordon and Greg Biffle. Row 3, it's Ryan Blaney and Clint Boyer, a winner here in 2012. In row 4, starting in 7th, is Carl Edwards, winner here in Season 1 of Goodyear Cup Series, and to his outside, Joey Logano. Starting in row 5, 9th position, it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Paul Menard in 10th. Starting 11th, the 14, Tony Stewart, and to his outside, Jamie McMurray. In row 7, it's one of the new drivers to the Goodyear Cup Series, Alex Bowman making his first start, and Kyle Busch starting in 14th. In row 8, Trevor Bayne driving the 60 car for Roush and Denny Hamlin. Row 9, starting 17th, Rocket Man Ryan Newman, and to his outside, Martin Truex Jr. Then in row 10, it's your points leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Eric Jones, another Goodyear Cup Series newcomer, starting in 20th. In row 11, welcome William Byron to the Goodyear Cup Series, driving car number 25, and Kyle Larson is on his outside in 22nd. Chase Elliott starts 23rd in row 12, and Kevin Harvick starts 24th. Row 13 on the inside, Eric Almirola going to the rear in a backup car, and Brad Keselowski starting in 26th. In row 14, starting 27th, it's Sean Gossett and Casey Kane starting 28th. Row 15, it's Matt Kenseth driving the 42 for Chip Ganassi Racing, and Daniel Suarez, another Goodyear Cup Series newcomer. Row 16, it's Austin Dillon in the 3 and Matt DiBenedetto driving for the Wood Brothers in the 21. Row 17, starting 33rd, Danica Patrick driving the 7 for Junior Motorsports, and the final Goodyear Cup Series newcomer, Bubba Wallace in the 43. And finally, A.J. Allmendinger with that broken axle during qualifying starts in row 18. We've got 12 laps of action scheduled for today's race as the pace car is on pit road. Green flag is out. We're racing at Sonoma. A puff of smoke, Tony Stewart takes an excursion through the grass. He has rejoined the field, and we stay green. Kurt Busch leads the first lap as the field navigates the series of blind uphill corners that is Sector 1. Jeff Gordon on the inside of Jimmie Johnson in turn 4A. That's going to be one of the best places to make a pass today. 4A, 7A, and turn 11. Jeff Gordon moves into second. We're running today's race on the short chute layout here at Sonoma. It skips the infield carousel, and that's why the turn count jumps from 4A to 7A. The field's starting to stretch single file as we crest the hill over 3A and move into the heavy braking zone that is 4A. Clint Boyer on the inside of Greg Biffle tries to take away fourth. Looks like he's got the position. and Jeff Gordon is right on the back bumper of the leader. He's going to have a look on the inside. Busch locks up the brakes. Gordon gets a nose on the outside quarter panel of Kurt Busch. He's going to have the inside when we come into turn 2 here. Side by side for the lead through sector 1. Kurt Busch not giving up without a fight. He's going to be at a disadvantage through the short chute. Coming out of 7A, we've got a new leader, the 24, Jeff Gordon. And you are riding on board now with third place, Jimmy Johnson, as we head into turn 11. As soon as I say that, Kyle Busch dives up to the inside. Kyle Busch moves into third. And we'll begin our ascent as we pass under the pedestrian bridge. Very easy to run it wide in the right-hand corners of Sector 1. Downhill braking zone into 4A. Jimmy Johnson using a lot of curbing there. Through the sweeping S's, and Kyle Busch has closed in on his brother. He's going to take a look on the inside of turn 11, diving deep, and he's got second place. And Chase Elliott makes a move on Joey Logano for 9th. Chase Elliott is charging through the field. He started today's race in 23rd, already up 14 positions. Just behind him, the 67 of Sean Gossett. Started today's race in 27th. He's up 16 positions. And speaking of big movers, AJ Allmendinger started 35th, dead last on the field. He just passed Martin Truex Jr. for 14th. Meanwhile, at the front, Clint Boyer has moved into third place, and Kyle Busch is closing the gap on your leader, Jeff Gordon. The gap is less than a car length as they come in through the short chute. And Gordon locks up the brakes. Kyle Busch is there to take advantage. Into the S's, Kyle Busch moves into the lead. Gordon within striking distance as they come to 11. He looks to the inside. Busch blocks, but Busch locks up the brakes. Side by side as they cross the stripe to begin lap 8. It's deja vu all over again. Jeff Gordon on the inside. Kyle Busch this time on the outside as they battle through Sector 1. Kyle Busch hangs tough as they go over the bridge and down into 7A, but that inside line of Jeff Gordon is going to prevail once again. And a big cloud of dust in turn 2. Someone's gone off track. It's William Byron. Looks like he's got the engine refired. He's going to rejoin the track. We stay green. Did William Byron have some help? And it looks like maybe yes he did, as there is damage on the 4 of Kevin Harvick. Let's take a look at a replay and see what happened here. Top of your screen, William Byron in the gray car, and yes, it looks like Kevin Harvick says welcome to the Goodyear Cup Series new guy. At the front, Jeff Gordon has not been able to pull away from Kyle Busch, as Kyle Busch makes a move for the lead in 7A. They're going to be side by side through the S's. Not really a place you want to have an extended battle with somebody. That's going to let Clint Boyer close right up to the leaders. Into turn 11, Kyle Busch with the advantage, Kyle Busch with the lead. Just 3 laps to go now as Chase Elliott makes a move on Clint Boyer on the outside, trying to get third. He's got the position, and AJ Allmendinger moves in on Kurt Busch. Don't look now, AJ Allmendinger just set the fastest lap of the race, and he has moved into the top 5. I don't know if he'll have time to catch the leaders. It's going to be 2 to go at the stripe here, but what an incredible drive as Chase Elliott moves into second place now. Kyle Busch is loving this battle. That's going to let him pull away a little bit. AJ Allmendinger has made the pass into 4th, and here he goes on Jeff Gordon trying to get 3rd. He's got it. AJ Allmendinger in the Phoenix Racing Neil Bonnet tribute scheme started today's race in last place, 35th, and he just moved into a podium position. White flag this time for Kyle Busch. One more time around as AJ Allmendinger makes a move on Chase Elliott on the outside. He runs wide into the grass. Chase Elliott pushes AJ Allmendinger off, and here comes Jeff Gordon trying to retake 3rd. Into 7A, Gordon back into 3rd as Kyle Busch has set sail. Just a few more corners to go. Jeff Gordon pressuring Chase Elliott. He's going to have one final lunge for 2nd, but it's Kyle Busch taking the win at Sonoma. And for the first time in Goodyear Cup Series history, we have gone caution-free. How about that?
Great job, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it, y'all. Y'all do way too much for me.
And as Kyle Busch celebrates, we'll take a look at today's unofficial results. Kyle Busch gets the win and leads the most laps for the bonus points. Jeff Gordon edges out Chase Elliott for second. Chase Elliott, AJ Allmendinger, and Sean Gossett all began today's race outside of the top 20 and all finished in the top 5. Some incredible charging forward from those 3 drivers today. Kurt Busch, your pole sitter, comes home 6th. Then it's Clint Boyer, Ryan Blaney, Jimmy Johnson, and Martin Truex Jr. to round out the top 10. In 11th was Greg Biffle, then his Roush Fenway teammate Carl Edwards, then Joey Logano, Tony Stewart, Eric Almirola, Denny Hamlin, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Paul Menard, Jamie McMurray, and Bubba Wallace. Then it's Alex Bowman. Your points leader Dale Earnhardt Jr. had a rough day, finishing 22nd. Then in 23rd, it's Trevor Bayne, then Brad Keselowski, Ryan Newman, Casey Kane, Eric Jones, Kevin Harvick, Austin Dillon, and Kyle Larson. And then finally, Matt Kenseth, Daniel Suarez, Danica Patrick, William Byron, and Matt DiBenedetto. And after 7 of 13 races, we are halfway through the season, and we've got a new points leader. Jeff Gordon moves into the points lead. Kurt Busch will jump Dale Earnhardt Jr., but he will go to second, and Sean Gossett moves into third. Dale Earnhardt Jr. falls to fourth. Kyle Busch with the win today holds serve in 5th place. Then it's Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. tied for 7th, Martin Truex Jr. and Eric Almirola in 10th. And we'll quickly take a look at the point standings for the rest of the field. Denny Hamlin is actually tied for Eric Almirola in 10th. Clint Boyer with a good finish today. He moves up 4 spots into 17th. And Kevin Harvick, a rough day, -5 into 15th. Carl Edwards, after a rough start to the season, is starting to climb back up into 21st. So is AJ Allmendinger with that finish today. And finally, we've got our newcomers to the Goodyear Cup Series. A bit of a rookie battle, if you want to call it that, although all 5 of these drivers have been racing in the NASCAR Cup Series for a number of years. You'll see William Byron and Daniel Suarez both tied at 10 points. To accommodate the 5 extra cars in the point standings, finishing 31st through 35th in a race is now worth 10 points apiece, and then finishing 30th, as usual, is worth 11 points, gaining 1 point for each position gained. Well, that'll do it for us from Sonoma Raceway. We're glad you joined us, and we hope you had fun, and we hope you'll join us next time as we go racing at Williamson County Speedway. We'll see you then.